YouTube, what's going on? It's Juan Gotti here with another Washington Commanders video, and in today's video, I'm coming on here with some more owner news. So without further ado, let's get straight into today's video. But before we do, make sure you guys go down below, leave a like on this video, subscribe if you're new, and turn on post notifications so you get notified when I upload a video about the NFL, or in this case, our Washington Commanders. We're on the road to 6,000 subscribers, so please hit that subscribe button again if you haven't already. Thank you so much. Let's get straight into today's video. So, like I mentioned, we have some new owner news, but along with that, we also have made a signing today. The Washington Commanders have continued to bolster up their offensive line as they went out their way today to make a new signing that is going to be continuing to add to this theme of position flex, as Ron Rivera likes to call it. And the Washington Commanders have signed tackle Trent Scott, former Pittsburgh Steelers player, former Carolina Panthers player. He's a guy that can play tackle and guard. He's a guy that's just potentially could turn into something, but more realistically, just a can body to compete with guys like guys on the back end of the roster, or the young guys like Chris Paul, Sam Cosmi and stuff like that, and Nick Gates and stuff like that. Those kind of players. However, I don't expect much out of him, but you never know. You never know. This guy could go into camp not a favorite to make this roster, but could turn some heads, like a Charles Leonard, like a Wes Schweitzer, okay, like a Tyler Larson. He could be one of those guys, but more realistically, he's probably going to be a guy that is just going to be a camp body and maybe compete for a back end of the roster spot. I expect us to keep him around because we were trying to get this depth going, good again, because the Washington Commanders, when Ron Rivera first took over in 2020, our depth was amazing. Our depth was really, really good. And then as it got further along, it kind of got worse, And so Trent Scott, he's age 29. He played with the Chargers in 2018. He played for Carolina in 2021, and also, like I said, Pittsburgh Steelers. He was more so on a practice squad with Carolina. I believe they let him play. He played one game, and then they cut him. And the same with Pittsburgh. So we're getting another potential camp body that could turn into something. He's 6'5", 320. He was undrafted in 2018 out of Grambling State. And again, his last team he played for was 2022 with Pittsburgh. And yeah, man, I mean, it's another camp body that could potentially turn into something. So we'll keep an eye on that. But I'm happy that we're continuing to bolster up this depth because we very need it. We much so need it. You know what I'm saying? Behind Charles Leno, who do we have? Behind the new signing Andrew Wiley, who do we have? All right, and now Drew Scott could be a potential signing, a potential guy that could be something or something like that. So I'll continue to keep you guys updated on the potential moves that we make. Now let's go ahead and get into the owner news with the Washington Commanders. So like I mentioned, the Washington Commanders have another potential bidder and the newest name added to the poll. Let's go ahead and try to pronounce this name together, because I'm not going to lie to you guys. I do not know who this guy is, and I do not know how to pronounce his name. So let's go ahead and pull up the Google Translate live on air so we can try to learn this guy's name together, because this is a guy that could potentially be the Washington Commanders' new owner. So Washington Commanders guy.
Apostolopoulos.
Okay, hold on. Let's go English.
Steve Apostolopoulos.
Steve Apostolopoulos. I know I butchered that, but he is a Canadian billionaire that is potentially a new bidder of the Washington Commanders. Now, this guy, he has a history of money, obviously, but the article that I have pulled up here will learn a little bit more about him. So it says Canadian billionaire Steve Apostolopoulos has became the new potential bidder to tour the Washington Commanders stadium and training facility as he seeks to buy the franchise, league sources told ESPN. There are only three known bidders for the Commanders groups led by Josh Harris, Houston Rockets owner Tillman Ferretta, and now Apostolopoulos. That's a hard name I'm gonna just start calling him Steve A. Okay, and if he becomes the Washington owner, we're calling him Steve A because that's a lot to say. Although there has been speculation that Amazon founder Jeff Bezos could potentially join the mix, Steve A also recently had a discussion to buy the NBA's Charlotte Hornets from Michael Jordan. But has focused on the opportunity to purchase the Commanders, according to sources. Commanders owner Dan and Tanya Snyder announced their intention to sell the team in November. Forbes has listed the value of the franchise at $5.6 million. With the NFL's league meeting starting Monday in Phoenix, there has been an increase of speculation over when the deal could be announced. Steve A is the family of six Ventures Incorporations, a private equity venture fund. He was born in Toronto, attended Harvard, and contributed to a wide variety of organizations. Harris Group was strengthened earlier this month when he was joined by Mitchell Rouse, a Washington-based billionaire who has a net worth of $5.5 billion, according to Forbes. Basketball Hall of Famer Irvin Magic Johnson also joined the Harris-led group, sources confirmed to ESPN on Monday. Johnson, also a part owner of the Los Angeles Dodgers, was part of Harris's group that failed to land the Denver Broncos last summer. Harris also in the NBA's Philadelphia 76ers and NHL's New Jersey Devils owner. ESPN John Keimer contributed to this report. So, hey man, this stuff is starting to heat up. Okay, it's starting to come down to the stretch. I'm going to go out on a limb and say maybe at the beginning of April is where this thing could be official. New owner could be official. Okay. Now this Canadian guy Steve A is an interesting name because he has a lump sum of money, but he's going to be competing with guys that's in the Josh Harris group or in the Harris group, and I think honestly right now that is the front runner. I mean, you got him, Steve Rouse, Washington-based billionaire, Irvin Magic Johnson. Okay. So I think they're the front runner right now. And he already owns the New Jersey Devils. He already owns the 76ers. So he knows the process of buying a franchise. Okay. So right now, if I had to put money on it, I think the Harris Group would be the new owners of the Washington Commanders. But that's not count out this guy. Okay, he went to Harvard. It's not much about his background. I don't think he's owned anything else. I think he's just a guy with a lump sum of money that obviously has organizations and funds elsewhere. But as far as like owning a professional team, there isn't much about that. So I believe this would be his first time. But it did say he has some interest in buying other teams. I believe it was the Charlotte Hornets. That he's interested in buying because Michael Jordan is looking to sell the Charlotte Hornets potentially. So he's around and he's interested in buying a team. And he shifted his focus to the Washington Commanders. He took a tour of the facility, both stadium and practice facilities. So he's definitely up there in the potential buyers. However, I think right now the Harris Group is in front. And as you later heard, Jeff Bezos is not going nowhere. It came out today. Jeff Bezos could potentially make a late bid post the owners meeting that's in a couple days. I believe either in a couple days or a couple weeks. He's going to make a late push, a late bid around that time. Okay, and it already came out that this Dan Snyder and Jeff Bezos thing is kind of blown out of proportion. They already has said that Dan Snyder is willing to work with Jeff Bezos in purchasing the Washington Commanders. I bet you are, Dan, because you need that money, and ain't nobody else gonna pay what Jeff Bezos is willing to pay. So I bet you are interested in working with him and willing to work with him now, right? So let's not count out Jeff Bezos, guys. Let's not count him out. And it already had came out a couple months ago. I reported on it that Jeff Bezos was plan all along was to bid late, bid when Dan Snyder had to make a decision, bid when it was crunch time, bid when a deal was finally about to be made or a sale was about to be made. put his name in the hat at the right time. Dan Snyder's like, hey, man, this is a deal I can't turn down. And then he's going to sell to Jeff Bezos, potentially. This is his plan, and it's a smart plan. It's a smart plan because you already know nobody, not the Harris Group, not the Steve A., okay, not anybody else's name that's been in this mix to buy this team. Nobody has Jeff Bezos kind of money. So he's letting everybody else get their bids and submit their bids so he can come in, wipe it all away, and buy this team. So yeah, man, there you have it. Let me know what you guys think about this video in the comment section down below. New owners on the horizon. Be here before you know it. Thank you so much for watching today's video. See you guys next time. I'm out. Peace. Cross me one time, that's gonna get you pop. Get you poppin'.